Is your AC not working? Your thermostat lost power and your home is starting to heat up? If so, fully watch this video. I'm going to show you step by step how to troubleshoot and ultimately fix this issue yourself with no special tools, saving you anywhere from $200 to $400 easily. The first thing you want to do is go to your HVAC unit. In my case, mine is in the basement. Okay, you can see there is a ton of water pulled in the HVAC drain pan. This is exactly why it is so crucial to ensure your system has both a drain pan and a water safety sensor switch. This sensor is key. If it detects standing water, it automatically shuts off the power to the HVAC system, which subsequently cuts power off to your thermostat. What seems like a massive inconvenience actually ends up saving you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in water damage. But why is the water overflowing in the first place? As you see here, the HVAC system has a connected line that outputs water whenever the AC is running. This can either drain directly into your home's existing plumbing, or in my case, it routes into a condensate pump. That pump uses a flexible hose to push the water up and out to a designated drainage area. Now, this discharge hose can be fed into an existing household plumbing line, a floor drain, or as you see me showing here, routed straight to the outside of the house. When you find standing water in the pan, it usually boils down to one of two things. One, you either have a clog in the discharge hose preventing the pump from working, or two, the pump itself has failed. In my scenario, because the condensate pump had all three LED lights illuminated, the green, the yellow, and the red, it indicated a probable mechanical issue with the pump itself. To safely remove the pump, the first thing I am going to do is turn off the power to the entire HVAC system by flipping the main service switch. Then I'll unplug the pump's power cable from the outlet and pull it out from underneath the HVAC unit. From there, all I had to do was lift up the white PVC drain pipe to expose the pump by itself. When you lift the pump up, be careful because the reservoir is completely filled with water, and you don't want to spill it everywhere. To fully remove the old unit, we also need to disconnect the main discharge hose. To remove this hose, simply rotate the locking mechanism counterclockwise until it comes loose, just like you see me doing here. It is incredibly important to note that these hoses feature an internal orange check valve piece that you see here. Do not lose this piece. Keep it secure inside the hose line so both remain intact and accessible. With the old pump fully removed, we're going to head over to one of my favorite places, the Home Depot. In this particular aisle, I found this Everbilt HVAC condensate pump for only $110. You will find other models are more expensive, but I definitely wouldn't recommend buying anything cheap than this baseline because it likely won't last as long. When you unbox it, you'll see it's an incredibly straightforward setup. It comes with a new rubber hose and the pump assembly itself. It also includes two yellow safety wires, which can optionally be wired directly into your thermostat to shut the system down during an overflow situation. But because I already have a water safety sensor that's wired to the HVAC directly, I won't be using these yellow wires. In order to reuse my existing hose, however, I do need to take a pair of pliers to loosen the factory connection you see here and fully remove it from the new pump by rotating it counterclockwise. When you remove it, the same rule applies. Ensure the internal orange check valve piece stays safely inside. Don't lose it. I also need to pop out one of the plastic inlet caps on the top of this pump, and you will see shortly why removing this cap is important when you first install a new pump. Now that we have the cap removed and the factory hose connection modified using our pliers, we're going to head back to the HVAC unit to set it up. The first thing I want to do is lift the main white PVC drain pipe so I can insert it directly into one of the open inlet holes on top of the new pump. Once that is inserted, I'm going to take the power cable, untangle it, and position it near the outlet. But before plugging it in, I grab the original discharge hose and thread it onto the pump by rotating it clockwise onto the new pump's check valve location. With the hose securely tightened down, I now connect the main power plug to the outlet. Keep in mind that when I turned off the main switch to the HVAC, that only killed power to the HVAC unit itself. The actual wall outlet remains live and is still producing power. So to test the pump, connect it and then look at the LED indicators. Right now, we only have a solid green light indicating that the unit is powered on, but no other lights are active. There is no red error light and no yellow light indicating it is actively pumping water. And this is exactly why we removed that extra inlet cap earlier. Now I can take some of the water that's pulled in the safety pan and manually pour it directly into the open hole. It might take quite a bit of water to raise the internal float switch before it finally kicks in, but this is the exact sound you want to be hearing. The pump is now running and actively pushing water out. At least we hope it is. We know the motor works since it's a brand new product, but now we need to confirm that water is successfully exiting the line on the other side. After pouring in a little bit more water to keep the cycle going, I head outside to check the exit point. If you see a good stream of water coming out, congratulations, you have fixed the issue all by yourself. And now you can turn on the power to the HVAC and get AC back flowing through your home. But continue watching in case, like me, you don't see a consistent stream of water coming out. Your HVAC system outputs a surprising amount of condensation water, so you should see a very steady flow here. This tells me that the original discharge hose has a clog somewhere inside it. And this is a pretty common issue because HVAC condensation carries microscopic residue and slime that just builds up over time, producing that clog. And because it is a brutal 100 degrees outside today, I need to get my AC up and running immediately without having to pay emergency technician prices that make it even more absurdly expensive. So I could try to snake or use a wet shop vacuum to unclog the line, but that line is well over 50 feet long, and I fully expect it will require an actual air compression to unclog it, which I don't have. So my quick solution is to run a new hose and temporarily route the output water into the nearest available household drain, which in my basement is the washing machine's drain pipe. As you see here, I am going to drill a temporary access hole through the drywall from the HVAC closet into the laundry area, which I can easily patch up later once I decide to make this job more professionally looking. To do this, I selected my widest drill bit to ensure the opening is large enough to easily feed the new hose through. With the opening ready, I take the new vinyl hose and I feed it through the wall, making sure to leave plenty of slack so it easily reaches the washer's drain pipe. Of course, your home layout might look a little different than mine. If you have a floor drain or a utility sink closer by, definitely use that. For my specific layout, this was the most efficient approach. After feeding the line all the way through, I want to make sure it doesn't look terrible. So I am going to anchor and hang the hose neatly above the door frame so it isn't an inconvenience to myself or my renter that lives down here. It will look exactly like this once fully finished. Now with the drainage line completely secured, I am going to turn the main power switch back on to the HVAC system. Keep in mind, it may take a minute or two for your thermostat to fully boot back up after you turn on the power. After waiting, if you are using a smart thermostat like my Nest, you can use your phone to turn on the AC using the Google Home or Nest application. And then verify that your AC compressor kicks on and then you hear the condensate pump running periodically. As you see here, it will actively pump the water through this clear hose. It is perfectly normal for residual water to remain inside the horizontal sections of the line. Ultimately, this DIY fix saved me at least $200 to $400 in HVAC diagnostic fees and took less than 10 minutes of actual physical work, and is incredibly easy to do. If you found this video helpful, please make sure to like the video and share it with other homeowners or renters who could benefit from this troubleshooting knowledge so they don't have to suffer through the brutal summer heat when their AC stops working. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more practical home DIY, do-it-yourself repairs, maintenance, and renovation projects that will save you a ton of money. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.